took care of that horse in the bucket chute, and I knew if I get out on him clean and quick, he's gonna have a good trip, and it paid off.
Rodeo time.
Welcome to the Luke Branquinho Show, our second day here at the Las Vegas Convention Center, here on the Cowboy Channel stage. And, I really love opening up these shows. Yesterday we had rookie Wacy Shala. Now we have Resistol Rookie and the go-round champ from winner last night, Weston Timberman. Weston, thanks for joining me, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on here.
Man, you want to talk about an exciting night at the National Finals for a spectator, but to see a rookie go out there and dominate that round like you did on Drunk Bunny, J-Bar J. We talked a little bit about it. It was one of those horses that kind of let you show how much style you had.
Yeah, for sure. I've been on him a couple times, and I knew he was going to really buck out of there. He's kind of a booger in the chute, so I just went out there, took care of that horse in the bucket chute, and I knew if I get out on him clean and quick, he's gonna have a good trip, and it paid off.
Well, I got to ask, every rookie, this is the question, because I remember my first time in the Thomas and Mack, doing the grand entry practice, everything that goes into it before the rodeo, but when it's go time, does all that stuff get pushed to the back of your mind and it's time to go win?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It was kind of funny. One of the things I was thinking about is that Chris Ledoux song, and he talks about we had too much time a while ago and just not enough time now, and that's exactly how it felt like last night. We just sat there, you get to watch the whole grand entry and all that, and that was just so cool to be able to sit back there for the first time and watch it all unfold. And then when them flags ran out, man, it was go time, and it was pretty exciting, and it came pretty quick, but once I was in the chute, it was go time.
What kind of rookie hazing will they do to a guy in the locker room? Because I know there's some of that stuff that goes on. Those veteran bareback riders, they could be a little rough on you guys.
Yeah, I mean, believe it or not, bareback riders, they're kind of rowdy sometimes. But no, I mean, they try to do some stuff to you here and there, but you just gotta take it with a grain of salt. It's just part of being a rookie, and it's fun. I'll get to do it to the guys next year, so it'll be fun. And yeah, I'm just enjoying everything. We're in Vegas, and I'm happy to be here.
And, I get to experience the locker room a little bit, doing TV work, going down in there. But you guys are such a close, tight-knit group down there. One, because the locker rooms are small, so that's the option you have.
Very small.
But, who's the cheerleader in the locker room? Who's somebody that's always keeping everybody's spirits up?
Actually, first off, you got Taylor Broussard in the locker room. That guy's a nutcase, firecracker, I don't know, whatever. He's everything. So Bruce, he's always lightening the mood, And then you have Caleb Bennett, our director for the bareback ride, and he's always in there. And he was helping set up riggings and do all that stuff. So, but everybody just feeds off of each other, really, and it's super cool to be able to be a part of. It's just seeing how everybody connects with each other, and it's just pretty cool.
Do you guys ever get to see the legend himself, Casey Field, down there in the locker room?
He hasn't made his way down yet. I'm sure he probably will make it down at some point this week, so not yet.
Well, I think he's busy on the Teton Ridge pre-show, I know, because I'm there with him. But he actually had you picked last night on this horse, Drunk Bunny of J-Bar J. He's like, man, Weston's a rookie, but he's not going to ride like one, and this horse is going to show out. And you obviously did that, but to have a guy like Casey Field pick you to win the go-round, I mean, that's got to feel pretty good, right?
Yeah, I was just glad I didn't know about that until after I got off, really. It's cool. It's really humbling, to be able to see the greatest of all time, quite literally, pick you, and him know that I wasn't going to be affected by the limelight and the bright lights of Vegas. I was just here to do my job, and it was pretty cool, really cool to see that.
Well, and you got legends in the locker room that are still competing. I mean, in my opinion, Jess Pope's one of those guys, never falters, never makes a mistake. Is he somebody that, prior to your first NFR, you're like, man, that guy, how do I ride like that guy and not make mistakes?
Yeah, with the accolades that Jess has brought himself or whatever, it's hard not to look at that and try to figure out how to resemble that in some way, with the average titles. That's such a big thing here in Vegas, and that leads to gold buckles, really does. And so, yeah, you watch that and see how they handle horses and stuff like that, and I take that and just try to put that into my own style, and just go out there and do my job the best way I can.
You talk about your own style, which I've always been somebody that thought, okay, if I could take what I could do mix it together with other people's, but it has to be mine. You can't go ride like Casey. You can't go ride like Jess Pope, Tim O'Connell. It's just not possible. You have to use your build, your body style, and ride and make your own style in all reality.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You know, everybody's built different. Like Keenan Hayes, he's such a prime example of that. You know, nobody can ride like, and that's just because that's the way he's built. You know, he couldn't ride any other way, and it's just because he's got the little short arms and everything, and it works for him. Some of us, it looks like it hurts maybe a touch more, but yeah.
Well, that's one event that I never, ever considered trying. I did get on a couple bulls. Actually, saddle bronc riding, not really, because that just looks too, I don't know, lifting on a rein, moving your feet. I never really had any desire to do any rough stock other than riding bulls, but man, that bareback ride, and they talk about being one of the most, or the toughest on your body. I mean, you guys are hanging onto a suitcase handle, and I hate that when the announcers say that, but it's in reality, that's what you're doing.
You just got to make sure you're coming in here physically prepared, and just not overwhelm yourself with any of that, and just know that you prepared yourself for the 10 days and just be ready for it.
Okay, you say physically prepared, because when I first started rodeo, and that was never, you know, us steer wrestlers, we'd go to the buffet or In-N-Out Burger and do that. But it's changed. I've seen the transition even later in my career. Guys are taking this more as a sport. They're taking care of their bodies. They're eating better, working out. And your event, that is probably the most important thing, is your workout schedules. It
really is, not only for like just being in shape necessarily, but the longevity of the sport is that's how we make our money, you know. So for me, when I go to the gym, I think about my career and just the longevity of it. So that's what I'm really preparing myself for, is just to have a good, long, healthy career, and that's kind of my main goal in the gym. And yeah, really, that's about it.
You know, and it's not necessarily strength training for you, I don't imagine, but you obviously want to be strong, stay strong, but you got to keep your body flexible, because you guys get put in some positions.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There's no way that, I mean, my feet are dangling right now. There's no
They are dangling.
There's no way that I could outpower these suckers. So, yeah, I mean, I focus on my just quick twitch muscles, you know. I got to be quicker than them. And then, yeah, you get in the best shape that you can without getting too heavy, too light, whatever it may be. But yeah, you do the fundamentals correctly, and you're in shape enough to do it. You'll be just fine.
And muscle memory plays a big role in that, I'd imagine. I mean, I don't know whether it's a spur board or a bucket machine, and obviously it's not going to be the same as getting on a real horse, but you could still train your muscles for that muscle memory to react to.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You know, especially when you get in situations like at the finals, you know. It's a lot of go and not a whole lot of woe, you know. So once you finally nod your head, you know, you don't got a whole lot of thinking going on. So, yeah, you have to rely on something, and that ends up being that muscle memory that you just instilled in, throughout the season, you know, and how you rode throughout the season.
Well, I know for me it was always, you know, from a young age, I'd put, you know, as much effort as I could into running as many steers to build that muscle memory. Now, the older I got, I did a little different, because my body couldn't handle it. It hurt. Let's be honest. The older you get, the more it hurts when you do stuff like that. But when we come back here on the Luke Branquinho Show, we'll have more with Weston Timberman. Well, here on the Luke Branquinho Show, we do a little rodeo trivia. I'll ask a couple questions. I'm going to pause. You guys try to answer. If you get it right, maybe I'll give you a prize. Who knows? It's a fun thing about the Luke Branquinho Show, a lot of surprises. What is the name of the legendary cowboy that was dubbed the King of the Cowboys? Welcome back to the Luke Branquinho Show. We have Weston Timberman joining us. But I want to go back to some key wins you had this year. And we're going to start at Fallon, Nevada, Battleborn Bronx. A buddy of mine, my college roommate, Jesse Segura, actually puts that event on, and I know what he puts into it. But you had that win. You had Pinoca, another huge win. These are rodeos that, when you win those, you just keep climbing up that standings, you know, and to be able to do that now, Pendleton, Oregon, there in the fall. Kind of a key win for a guy that, you know, rookie, but the biggest one, Mandan, Rough Riders Cup, solidified your spot to the national finals.
Yeah, it really did, you know. And with being my rookie year, it was the first time I got to go to any of those rodeos. So I was just having such a good time. I was having so much fun. Like for instance, with Pendleton, I didn't even know I won it. I I got off, went back to the grass with all the boys. I'm just sitting there just enjoying it. I just soaked it all in, didn't even think about it. And then some guy kind of came up and sat down next to me, kind of like a producer-looking fella. And I was like, kind of like looking, I was like, wonder what he's doing out here, because he's kind of like eyeing me down. And then he's like, all right, well, we got 2 head left, so if they don't beat you, you win it. And I was like, looked up, I was like, oh, God, well, you're right. We did. I didn't even realize that, It was so cool, because every time you win something like that throughout the season, you get that little bit of confidence. And it started with the college finals, and then it rolled in 2 days later to Fallon, and then after Fallon, that was kind of like the start of the summer run, and I was just bring it on, and then it just kind of kept trickling from there.
So you mentioned the college finals, 2-time champ, Clarendon College, Brent Franks, right? That was your coach?
Yes, sir, yep.
That guy has seemed to bring so many people to the national finals just through that program, and it's fun to watch. But you got the confidence from the college finals win. How much money did you have? Where were you at in the world standings before you won that Fallon Battleborn bronze?
Man, I didn't have like a great winter. I was able to get into some of the winter rodeos. The only one I really did good at was San Antonio. And so I was sitting, I don't think I was out of the top 20. I think I was maybe 18th or 19th or somewhere right about there. And then Fallon, that was a pretty good little paycheck. And then that just kind of bumped me right into that 15. And ever since Fallon, I just kind of kept that rolling, and paycheck to paycheck, stayed in that top 15 the whole year. Is pretty good.
Well, I know even for me when I was going, it wasn't necessarily having to win first or trying to win first. You just had to go win. Whether it was if you didn't have a great steer or if you didn't have a great horse, just try to win. And those checks seem to just accumulate and add and multiply. And if you could do that, it makes getting here a lot easier.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But, yeah, that was just like one of my main goals, along with many of the other goals I wrote down.
Well, it's funny that you say average out 1,000, because when I was going, and I say that a lot and it makes me feel old, but we could average about 800 a rodeo and to make the national finals. But you would have to average more than that, because it took over $100,000 to make it in the bareback riding this year to the finals.
Yeah, it almost took 130, which is crazy. And I'm glad that I overachieved my goal, because we're sitting here now.
Right.
But yeah, last year it just took right at 100,000, maybe right above it. And I just figured, if I just stay right there, I'll be good. And I wanted to achieve that and try to stay in the top 5. So, but yeah, no, it was crazy, the money this year, and everybody's been saying it was the hardest year to qualify for the finals in the bareback riding. And like, I had a big talk with Richie Champion, and he was telling me, he's like, I've been here for a while, and he said this is the most proudest NFR qualification I've had yet. So that was pretty cool to hear.
Well, it's neat to know that rodeo's getting better. You guys are out there having a chance to win more money, and that it is taking more. That means you guys are winning more. So rodeo's going in the right direction, which we absolutely love. In fact, I'm kind of jealous and wish I was in my prime right now, because, man, the money's great. $33,000 to win the go-round last night. What about some guys you traveled with that helped you get here?
Yeah, no, I have me and Sam Peterson. He's also from Montana. He went to Clarendon College with me.
Bulldogger family, actually.
He is, yeah. He's actually cousin to Ty Erickson, and yeah, he was. I wouldn't be here without him, And he just was outside of making the finals, just barely, Just a couple different things went his way. He would have been maybe even top 10. You know what I mean? So, and that just is a testament to how hard the season was this year. But yeah, no, he pushed me throughout the whole season. I pushed him, and it was a cool thing to finally get to experience for my rookie year, and I wouldn't have asked for a better traveling partner, and I'm excited to get back down the road with him. I wish he was here right now.
Well, and he's one of those guys that the last couple of years have been right there on the bubble. I mean, he's going to be here. There's no doubt watching him ride. We talk, traveling partners, people you look up to, but you're from a bareback riding family. Your dad, Chris, won the Ram Circuit Finals in 2006. Your uncle, Kelly, 2004 world champion, the same year I won my first gold buckle. And we were talking about that in 2004. You were 6 months old when he won his first world championship. And J.R. Vizane, another guy you look up to. So how much have your family and J.R. impacted your life?
They've impacted my life enough to be where I'm at today. Growing up, watching my uncle win the world title and just seeing all that, and then seeing my dad in 2006, and like just growing up watching them go rodeo. And then, when they kind of got towards the end of their career, Caleb Bennett and J.R. Vizane hopped in with my uncle and them, and they were the ones that took Caleb and J.R. when they were rookies, you know. And so every once in a while they'd stop by the house and they'd let me ride on their back on the trampoline, do the old bareback thing on the trampoline, you know. So,
well, it's like the circle of life of rodeo. I mean, same thing happened to me. Guys that I looked up to when I was little, I got to rodeo and compete with them. And same with you guys that your dad and your uncle rodeoed with. Now they're kind of helping you out along the lines. And, you know, for me, that's what I love about the sport of rodeo. You know, those guys got to learn from your family. You get to learn from them, the traveling part of it. And again, rodeo, that's the way it is. Yeah,
for sure. You know, like I remember being a kid, you know, and watching the finals on the TV, and I remember having my little shaps that I'd have made for me, and my parents actually have videos of me and my brother doing the old shake. You know, that was our favorite thing to do when the Bulldog came on, is whack one down for 3-3 or 3-5 and just do the shake. You know, and it's super cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that and the Rodeo Family. We talk about it every show almost. You can get in any state. If you break down, it doesn't take a couple calls, and somebody in that area knows somebody that could help you out. And I guess that's just the way we are, man. We don't ask for much, and we always have a lot of hands to help us out if we need it.
Yeah, for sure. And I really figured that out. You know, this year, my rookie season. I even just throughout the 1 year, I have had so many people reach out to me, and all the support's crazy, you know. And then now, at the end of my season, I have people in every part of this country that I can rely on if I'm in that spot, you know. And that goes back to my uncle and my dad as well, you know. A lot of people reached out to me like, hey, I know you're in town, and your uncle, your dad's always been really good to us, and like we're super big fans of you and your whole family, and we want to support you, and if you need a place to stay, anything like that, like come on out. And I got that everywhere. It was super cool to be down in Louisiana, Florida, Houston, Canada, everywhere. You know, it was super cool.
Well, and you get to even take that even to rodeo committees. I imagine guys like, hey, I know your dad, I know your uncle. They used to compete here too, and to be able to say, yeah, I'm the next generation of the family, and they're like, well, what do you need? How can we help you out?
Exactly, and it was really good for me, you know. It made rodeoing a little bit easier, especially when I got to places I didn't know. Like, we went up to a couple Canada rodeos this year. We were going to try to get our count, and my uncle rodeoed up there quite a bit. And, I mean, it's a whole different country, quite literally, you know. So
you cross a border.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know where I was going or anything, and I had people throughout the whole year just help me out. It was really cool.
You know, you get to these rodeos, the contractors, again, we talk about committees, the fans, whatever, but even the contractors I know have to be there. Like, man, I love to see the next generation.
Oh, yeah. And it's cool, like, when you, like, bring in your uncle and dad to the ceremony last night, and, like, just seeing them around, you know, they always run into the old stock contractors, like, I can't remember who we talked to last night, but, you know, they run into each other, and I haven't seen you in forever, man, and you're getting old, like, all that stuff. But it's cool to see them reconnect and see that friendship stay just as strong as it was when they were still rodeoing, you know, and I'm just super glad to be able to carry that on and grow those relationships.
Yeah. You know, we talk about how fun and important the Rookie of the Year is because it's only one buckle you have a chance at your whole career. Now, you got that buckle cinched up, but we're going to go try to get another one, right?
Oh, yeah. My goal this year was never the Rookie of the Year necessarily. I'm not taking anything away from it. It's a super cool accomplishment that you only get to go for once, you know. But I figured that if I shot for top 5 in the finals, that Rookie of the Year was going to fall into place, and it has for me, and I'm super blessed for that.
Well, I know for me, that was my goal, my rookie year. Like, man, I'm going to go win the Rookie of the Year. In fact, on my phone banner, the old Nokias that everyone, you probably don't even know what a Nokia is, but he used to play Snake on it, but I put Roy on the Rookie of the Year. I ended up 16th that year, and I thought, man, if I would have make the national finals, I would have still won the Rookie of the Year, but I would have set that goal higher for myself, and I'd have liked to think I'd have accomplished it. But no, you're exactly right. It's a great award. It's an honor. But to be here, your rookie year, win that, and have a chance at a gold buckle, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. And it's kind of been a tradition that has slowly started in the bareback riding for at least one or multiple rookies to make the finals. I can't remember who kind of the first one that has led this consecutive runoff, but there's been at least one rookie make the finals for the past 6, 7. I can't remember exactly,
right.
But I remember talking about it on the at the Rookie Roundup, And I was like, I'd like to carry on that tradition, I'd like to be there. And so I'm glad I am.
Yeah, and last year it was pretty impressive with the rookies that came in too. And so you got the go-round win. What was that like? When I seen you outside Thomas Mack, like, hey, where do I get a limo here? And then you said, I didn't really know where to go to get this go-round buckle.
Yeah, no, I had no idea, everything for me last night was just a whole night of firsts. It was pretty cool and pretty crazy and chaotic and all that good stuff, but I got off. I could not hold my emotion back. I didn't really even know what I was going to do. I didn't know how hard I celebrated until after. I looked, I was like, oh gosh, you might have to reel that in a little bit. You looking like rocker out there or something.
No, don't reel it in, man, because in all honesty, you got to let it all hang out. You got to have fun with it, because if you start thinking, and again, it is a business, don't get me wrong, but you start thinking, okay, rein it in, then you kind of lose that excitement, that competitive edge that you brought to it.
Yeah, for sure, and Tim O'Connell talks about it a lot, and he's super good at explaining it, but it's a mindset that you get in whether you like it or not, especially these top 15. It's a mindset that is just in you, and when that horse runs in the chute, it's game time, and it's not easy to shut that emotion off. And just being able to finally nod my head at the Thomas and Mac for the first time and getting off and just doing my job, it's something that I've been wanting to do and dreaming of quite literally my whole life. And so to make the pickup, man, have my hat stay on, all the good stuff, I was like, man, this is pretty freaking sweet. So, yeah.
I did get the very first day I ran, threw him down, and I ran out of the arena. I was just so excited I was there and ran out. I had somebody call me. He's like, man, don't run out of the arena. You got sponsors on your shirt. Walk slower so they could get some exposure, which makes perfect sense. But it's just that emotion when you finally get there, get to compete and make that run. And obviously you did it and won the round. What was it like going up on the stage? You had legend Joe Beaver. I believe Philip Rasmussen still does that.
Yep.
But going up there with your dad and your uncle, and you even said at the contractors, hey, buddies, long time no see, but you don't ever lose that friendship.
Yeah, no, it was super cool to see that. And again, like my dad is good buddies with Flint and all that from being from Montana. Right. And actually a cool thing that last night, my dad never made the finals. He was in the contentions for many years, but never actually ended up pulling it off. And so I wore his chaps last night.
Oh,
and,
wow.
Yeah, I drug a tear out of him, which is pretty cool, And to get the round win in his chaps, I can officially say those chaps are retired.
Yeah. So are you done with them, or are you going to ride again?
Yeah, no, I got a pretty fresh pair that I paid for. Actually, the guy that makes my chaps, he texted me last night. He's like, hey, man, there's some words I'm cutting out. But he's like, hey, man, congrats on the big win. And he goes, but what the going on with the chaps, bud? He's like, where's the chaps? And so I was like, hey, I kind of had to fill him in. And he's like, oh, okay, that's cool. Never mind. You can, as long as you win the gold buckle in mine, then we'll be okay.
Right,
I was like,
right.
okay.
Well, as long as you come to an agreement with him. So we're going to end this show with Weston Timberman telling us about the draw tonight. And I know the E-Pin's the next round, but we're not going to think about that one.
Yeah, no, we'll worry about that one tomorrow when the time comes, But yeah, tomorrow's the semi-eliminator pen, or tonight's the semi-eliminator pen, and these horses, they're not going to be quite as scary. They're not going to be the dragons that you'll see tomorrow night. But every horse out tonight's got something to them, whether you can see it or not. But they're hard to ride. Every single one of them tonight's going to be a challenge for whoever draws them. And the horse I have is one of Corco's called Dixie's Gravy, and he's a little paint horse, kind of flax mane, real cool and wild and electric. And he really goes out there and just switches directions and chains up and just kicks through it all, and he's just wild with it. And so as long as I keep my feet on the same side of the neck and just be as electric as I can be, it's going to be, in my eyes, a pretty good matchup. I really like it.
Well, good luck tonight in the second go-round. Hopefully you get to figure your way back right out to that South Point stage, and you know exactly where you're going to go. Weston Timberman, thank you for joining us on the Luke Branquinho Show. Best of luck the rest of the week.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, thanks for having me on here.
You bet. Thank you all for joining us. Stay tuned for our next episode.
That's when my grandfather put a raised heel, pointed toe, and a scallop top on a pair of boots, and started calling them cowboy boots.
What is the name of the legendary cowboy that was dubbed the King of the Cowboys? This is a tricky one because when I was younger, Ty Murray was the King of the Cowboys, and he still has that label. But then here came along Trevor Brazile, and he also got dubbed the king of the cowboys. So I guess you could have more than one king in this industry.
Hey, you want to see more in-depth details on the Luke Branquinho Show? Make sure you like and subscribe.